2 years ago, I did around 50 tests a day.
China's top leaders have called for new measures to improve the lives of those living with HIV/AIDS.
I went to all the hospitals in the city, but I never expected HIV.
Shuping Wang, the Chinese-born medical researcher who exposed the poor health practices of the local government, which were contributing to the rise of HIV in central China during the 1990s, has passed away. Born in 1959, Shuping is survived by her husband, brother, and 3 children. Shuping was born in 1959 to a mother who was a village doctor. Her father was a math teacher involved in resisting Mao's communist forces. During the Cultural Revolution, her parents were attacked by the state. Since she refused to denounce her parents, Shuping's schooling was cut short. She was eventually adopted by one of her uncles who belonged to the Communist Party, who gave her the surname Wang, which enabled her to continue education. When she grew up, Shuping pursued medicine. In 1991, Shuping was working at a plasma collection center in Henan. In those days, Henan was witnessing a boom in blood collection since poor farmers used to trade blood for money. She discovered that the people selling blood had high levels of hepatitis C. Shuping warned the Ministry of Health about the possible spread of the virus, due to which it was announced that the donors need to undergo a screening for the infection. But instead of being praised, Shuping was forced out of her job as some of the officials felt that her actions had harmed their business by increasing costs. It was in 1995 that Shuping discovered the rampant HIV problem spreading in China. She identified the problem after coming into contact with a blood donor who was tested positive for HIV but had still sold his blood in 4 different regions. Her warnings were brushed aside by the authorities since they argued that checking the donors for HIV would be too costly. When Shuping did a blood analysis of 400 donors, she found that almost 13% were infected with HIV. In 1996, blood collection sites were required to perform tests for HIV infection. At a health conference, an official complained about her decision to report the HIV epidemic to the government. He said, "Who is this guy? How dare he write a report about this?" I stood up and said, "I'm not a man, I'm a woman, and I reported this. I lost my job. They asked me to stay home and work for my husband," she said to BBC. Shuping's husband left her after the incident. In 2001, Shuping moved to the US, where she started a new life and married for the second time. She died on September 21, 2019, from a possible heart attack. Shuping was a remarkable person who demonstrated dedication to work and compassion for others. To know Shuping, you would never imagine that prior to coming to America, she was at the heart of a public health scandal in China, and that later her story was told and performed. Shuping's life was cut short, but she left our workplace and world a better place. Amy Sikalis, the research director of the Radiology and Imaging Sciences Department at the University of Utah, said to the scientist, "Scientists from the Peking University recently conducted a gene editing experiment which might help prevent HIV infection. During the experiment, the scientists took out bone marrow stem cells from a volunteer suffering from AIDS, edited a gene called CCR5, and retransplanted the edited cells back into the person. The scientists discovered that the blood cells produced by the edited cells had the ability to resist HIV infection. In the future, further improving the efficiency of gene editing and optimizing the transplantation procedure should accelerate the transition to clinical applications," lead scientist Deng Hongqi said to CNN.
That predispose some people to cancer, or enable new therapies for HIV, or edit the
Earlier to the human study, the scientists had carried out a similar experiment on mice, which also resulted in making the creatures resistant to HIV. Do you know of any medical organizations that value monetary benefits over treatments and relief? Share your comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to watch more videos on China and its growing impact on the world, its freedoms and culture. Hit the notification bell and be sure to share our news content on social media for a better informed network. Until the next time, be well.